My name is Jim Bauer. I live here in Sebewaing, Michigan. I'm 61 years old. I lived here all my life on the family farm. It's a 120-acre parcel with a river going right through it.
Can you talk a little bit about some of the changes that you've seen on the property over the years?
Yeah, the river, as a kid, the river seemed like the water was deeper and the banks were kind of cut off, and over the years it seemed like a lot of erosion closed in on the river, and the water got shallower from all the dirt flowing in from the fields.
Have they added any windmills or anything like that?
Yes, the transmission line was put in for the windmills about 6 years ago, and lot of windmills around the area, and the transmission line goes right through the farm.
What changes have you noticed in wildlife?
As a kid, seems like there was a lot of little small fingerlings, a lot of varieties of fish, and there was a lot of frogs and tadpoles. And nowadays there doesn't seem to be hardly any fish or frogs. And the wildlife, there's a lot of blue heron, and I feel that that's what's happening to most of the frogs. I think the blue heron are eating a lot of the fish and the frogs, and there's a lot more geese in the area, Canadian geese, than there was when I was a kid. And I think there's more deer hanging around down by the river now too, back than when I was a kid.
Has there been any changes in plant life?
Yeah, there was a lot of erosion taking place in the river over the years, and they brought in excavators and they cleaned up the river, straightened out the curves, worked on the banks, and reseeded it with grass, took out some of the thick brush and trees, and got the river straightened out and cleaned up so it flows better. And now, in the last 4 or 5 years, a lot of the trees had grown back, and most of the ash tree, or all of the ash tree, have all died due to the ash borer.
How have you interacted with this property in the past, and how do you interact with it now?
We have farmed this farm ever since I was a kid. My dad, my grandfather, third generation farm, and we grow cash crops on it: sugar beets, dry beans, soybeans, corn and wheat, and take my kids down every now and then when they were young, and watch the wildlife down at the river, and still farm it 60 years later.